Major Mohammed Ali Shah, let me draw you in here if you can hear me on this latest round of violence. Obviously, the Kuki community pretty upset, holding these protests at outside the Home Minister's residence after a mob from the Maitai community burned down this ambulance.
Yes, Uday, most certainly. You know, this was, and like this has come to the light, and I am very sorry. I have my deepest condolence to the Hansing family for this. I don't know. I don't have words for this loss, Uday. And you know, this has been. It's not just the first family which would be affected like this. Both the families from both the sides, Maiti side, from the Kuki side, they are affected. And the thing to note over here is Tonson Hansing, who was 7 years old, his mother, Meena Hansing, was 45 years old, who was accompanied by one of their aunts, Lydia Lundberg, who was 37 years old. In fact, they are Maite Christians. So people who are under the impression that Maite is the Hindu community, yes, it's a dominantly Hindu community, but the Maite community also have the Christians in them. They also have a few Muslims with them. So when churches were burnt of the Kuki community, they were churches of the Maiti community also burned. The temples were also burned. So this violence has to stop. And I will just make everyone go blind. Simple as that. You know, it is very, very, it's very distressing. It's very, very painful, especially Uday, you know, especially for a person like me. I have deep attachment towards Northeast. And especially Manipur. I started my schooling, in fact, as a small 3-year-old boy in the Northeast. I grew up there. I have played football with my best of friends have been Manipuris. I have served there as ADC to the corps commander, to 2 corps commanders. I have been with the Assam Rifles. So our troops, when we used to patrol that area, for example, the Home Minister mentioned about National Highway 2. He said it should be open for supplies. That entire National Highway 2 has been well patrolled by our troops, by road, by vehicle, by air as well. So the very fact, it's very, very painful. Now let me tell you this, as per what I get to gather from my friends in Manipur, the father's Kuki. So when the father, the bodies have not been handed over to the father also as yet. The father's too scared to in fact come out and go and claim. Imagine the pain one would be undergoing as parent, the father, as relatives, forget about immediate family. I mean, I feel the pain sitting over here where I did not know this family. I feel connected. So I can imagine the pain of everyone. I can imagine the pain of Mr. Bhagat Koinam over here. I can imagine the pain of my dear sister over here who's sitting on the panel. It's really extremely, extremely distressing and disheartening. When the Home Minister went there, yes, it would have made some difference, but the time would tell whether it would actually make some difference. There was a firing incident in Kakshin 2 days back. Kakshin, the entire area of Thoubal, before Palel, in fact, Kakshin, Sorabasti, is well known to me Uday, and I have spent a lot of my happy days in my childhood over there. So it pains me no end. Now it's very important over here to understand the ethnic affinity because, see, for example, a lot of people cannot distinguish between a Tangkol or who are from Ukhrul, basically, from Shangshak district, precisely that area, who are Naga warriors, or between a Naga and a Kuki. Now, I would like to say, see, the features are totally different there, ethnic sense is totally different there, dressing is totally different, and one should be able to actually know the ethnicity. Here now, the poor thing, the mother and the child, they thought, okay, they're being Maitis, we will take them there, because they were in a place 15 kilometers from Imphal, and from where their village was, they thought it's mainly a Kuki belt, because the father being a Kuki. Now imagine, it's not about being Maiti, they were not spared. I heard somebody say it is about, I would call myself also a Manipuri incidentally, Uday, though I don't know whether I'm a Maite, or I'm a Kuki, or I'm a Naga, I'm a Tangkul, I'm a Baite, I'm a Paite, I'm a Pangal. I don't know. I just know one thing. By heart, I feel that I am Manipuri, basically. So this violence has to stop at any cost. Now, will it stop by our appeal? I don't think so. I think I hope it does, but it's a very, very complex situation over here. It's extremely complex because they are certain, ethnically, they are the Kukis and Nagas, they were both Christians, right? But both were fighting among each other. The Kukis and Nagas were bitter and sworn enemies. I remember in my time, I'm talking about almost 20 years back, they used to torch each other's villages and hundreds of them would come at night and they would burn their villages. But both of them were Christian, if you come to see. So it's not about Hindu and Christian, it's about the community clash, the ethnic clash actually. Now, Maite and Kuki clash, well, in the Maite also, like there's a living example. living example, the Hansing, the mother, Meena Hansing, she was a Maite Christian. And so one has to, even people who are trying to maintain calm over there, have to first understand the background, the history, the ethnicity of inclination, the tribal culture of Manipur is very, very important. Because without understanding the tribal culture, because my friends from the Assam Rifles who are there, we call the Assam Rifles the friends of the hill people, sentinels of the northeast. Assam Rifles ke sipahi desh ki humne shaan badhai. So they spend the entire time in the northeast. The troops are all from the northeast over there, most of them. So now when you understand the ethnic culture, my friends over here would know better what I'm talking about. The very fact is, it is extremely painful for anyone to see this kind of violence. And being a father of a small child myself, I can imagine the pain. I can really, it hurts me here over there. Imagine being Tonson's father. It is extremely, extremely distressing. And my humble appeal and prayers to the Lord Almighty, please bring peace to this beautiful state of Manipur with beautiful people. Where else will you get floating islands in a lake, Lake Loktak? Where else? I mean, you'll find such hospitable people, the best people, the most cleaner, the best of friends, the cleanest of hearts. I can vouch with conviction are my friends from Manipur in fact there.
Yes, Major Mohammed Ali Shah, quickly bringing you in here. You know, there has been, of course, this peace accord that was signed. You know, while the Home Minister was in Manipur, there was an outreach to multiple communities that has obviously led to some sort of peace, some relaxations. But you know, violence has not ended. Obviously, we cannot let our guard down. What then further will we have to do in the next few weeks and 2-3 months?
Right, Uday. Firstly, I really commend and appreciate my Maite friend over here, Mr. Professor Bhagat Oinam, and my sister from the Kuki tribe over here. I think both of them have given very, very sensible, very, very balanced and very, very mature stance. And my sister, she said, you know, you observe my sister spoke out of love and compassion only. She didn't speak anything out of hatred, but she spoke because the wounds are so deep. The wounds are so deep for both the communities that they would feel, both the communities, not just somebody from Kuki tribe said that or somebody from the Maiti community said that. The wounds are so deep that they feel it would be now very, very difficult for them to coexist together because they perceive each other as a threat. They feel that God knows what's going to happen next with them. So I say no. I still am an optimist. I would say not all is lost. I know it's very, very difficult, easier said than done. And by saying that peace will return to Manipur, it's not that simple as I said earlier. I hope, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I really hope and pray. It distresses me, it's really saddens me no end when I see my Kuki friends asking for a separate state because they feel they are not protected and their rights have not been protected, they would be protected elsewhere. One thing I would like to also at the same time clarify, when this incident happened, it happened in Imphal, where there's a place called Airo Semba area, which falls under the Lamphel police station. So there were some rumors apparently of them, and there were 3 vehicles, I'm told. One was the ambulance, and there were 2 other vehicles. And the other vehicle was, they were the police, the state police were escorting them, and they were taken to a club, and they were kept there. And later on, all one could find from the ambulance was nothing but remnants, but bones. That is such a gruesome story that I was told. Now, the very fact that when the wounds are so deep, and one feels that, you know, it will be very, very difficult for them to coexist together. If France and Germany, who were bitter enemies, could become friends and bury the hatchets, and today both the countries, international, they're not even in India, they're so away, it's so far away in Europe, and they are booming in the economy. I'm still being an optimist. I say that friendship between the between the Kuki tribe and the Maite community can once again, hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed and praying to Almighty, it can be done when there's a will. When there's a will, there's a way. So now the very fact, because the wounds are so deep, and one more thing I would like to clarify, that the Assam Rifles personnel, apparently they were not even escorting them. I wish it would have been that would have been the case. Assam Rifles is working 24/7. My colleagues are working 24/7, and let me tell you one thing over there. Today, I would like to convey through your means, through your channel, to everyone who's listening to me, who could be a Manipuri, who understands Manipuri. I am not talking about Maite or Kuki or Naga or Tangkul, no. Manipur, I Nanganungshe. So, you know, I actually love Manipur. I feel a deep sense of bonding with them. I told you earlier. Now, the very fact, how does peace come in? Peace will come in when both the leaders from both the communities will sit down and they will talk, because by dialogue, baat se to baat aage badhegi.
Yes.
Bullets and wounds that, see, I have been in the midst of gunfire, I have been in the midst of insurgency, where the guns are blaring. My gun blazed too as well, I'll be very, very honest. But instead of firing bullets from a gun, I decided to win their hearts and minds.